Oh man. Um, First off, I want to say these guys played their hearts out. Um, Last year was a totally different situation, and we were fortunate to be able to go to the next game, and I think we played pretty good. It's just down the stretch, it was a lacking a little defense from the standpoint of a cohesive unit. But I mean, these guys, I would love to have them all back. I would love this opportunity again next year, and hopefully we can have it in the pit again and kind of see what happens from there.
Questions? I want to start with from an outsider's perspective, watching this game on TV, the big talking point's going to be the ejection. Their coach comes on the court, shows Joe. You guys talk about that moment, what you guys saw with LaFonso shoving Joe, first of all, and then kind of what happened after that, how that affected the game.
Who you asking?
Any one of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, the play was with me. I mean, I had my hands up. He hooked me. He tried to throw me on the ground first, so I don't understand why they didn't call a foul on that. But aside from that, I mean, yeah, I don't think any coaches should be able, should do that. You know, I'm sure he apologized and stuff, but I don't feel like it changed the game. I mean, the game was high intensity at the time. It's going to be a high intensity game. People want to win. And so, yeah, it didn't really change the game, I don't feel, but we knew we had to play strong, so it is what it is.
You guys just played back-to-back games with pretty high tensions. Obviously, last night being a rivalry game. But tonight, what did you feel like it was that just added to the tension that was very apparent on the court?
I mean, I think we were coming out and we were being competitive. It was from the standpoint, I know that team over there, they probably thought that we were an underdog, but I didn't see it that way. And I know these guys that play for Enchantment didn't see it that way either. They had some top guys. There were some good players. There were some pros, right? But I think we came out and we played with a lot of energy, especially on the back-to-back. We got off to a good start, but of course, it's basketball, man. You know, teams are gonna go on runs, and that's what happened. And we stepped up. We just didn't finish.
Staying in front of smaller, quick guards kind of hurt you guys last night, kind of hurt you guys tonight. Is that something you guys felt you could have done something different with, or was it just a manpower team? We don't have a lot of small, quick guards.
I think we did very good on the ball. And I think our weak side defense didn't come help. And we got a little stagnant on the defensive end. And I felt like we could have collapsed the paint a little bit better. But at the same time, they were knocking down shots. But, I mean, that's a horrible way to win, especially with the layup, right? So things happen. Hopefully we'll get another chance next year.
JR, is this it for you?
I don't know, man. As you guys can tell, I'm an emotional player. I think I'll make that decision next year when it comes to that time. But, you know, for right now, I'm just very blessed to be able to share the court with, a legend in Kenny Thomas. He did a great job coaching us.
Appreciate
I think you guys can see his improvement from last year, our improvement as a whole. And I'm just being an older guy, sharing the court with Scotty and, Elijah Brown and Anthony Mathis. It's a lot of, different eras of global basketball together. I mean, at 37 years old and not being LeBron James and not having $2.some million to put off into my body, I had a lot of fun out there tonight. The pit was alive. I think the TBT fans can see the culture, how we love basketball here. We're feisty. I'm a little spicy, and people got see a glimpse of the pit that it's probably been a little spicier for this TBT than it's been in more recent years of global basketball.
Going into this, obviously a lot of build-up. Mace set this up. Y'all, everybody loves Brandon Mason setting this up. 2 general managers, all that stuff. People were focused on that game last night, right? A lot of people around this town, around the state. Now that you guys are exiting from this, how did TBT do in the pit? What do you guys think? Did it show up okay? I know the numbers weren't huge for fans, but like the noise was pretty loud last night.
I mean, I think if we get an opportunity to be able to play in the TBT here again, I think it would totally be different. You got to keep in mind that a lot of people had plans in the summer, and then that's when a lot of people do different things, right? But I think the first response was cool, playing against the Aggies, but I think it was just as loud, and we had just as much support tonight, and I hope they continue to come. And I think the fact that we were able to get together last minute kind of thing, because we didn't have all the pieces here together, right? Maybe we can get some support from the community, businesses, or whatever that may be, for next year to actually keep it here and support the situation as far as us playing in here in the pit again. I mean, these guys played well. They played hard. And this guy right here, Sky, he was on one leg. He has an Achilles that's tight, and he still came out and gave it his all. And JR and all the other guys came out and played pretty hard. Game of basketball, man. It comes to a point to where you can't win every game, but the fact that we were right there, I think that's the key. And they were a good basketball team.
Scotty, what's next for you?
Man, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, I want to say this again, man. I'm blessed to be able to play for Kenny Thomas. That's like, I grew up watching this man. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I look at this situation, like I even said it last night, I'm just like, I texted in the group, like, I'm blessed to just put on the Lobo jersey with you guys, you know? And I mean that. To play with JR, like, that's crazy. Like, I grew up watching these guys, you know, playing. And so, for me, I mean, obviously I'm going to go overseas and play. I don't know where yet, but, you know, I just live in the moment, you know. For right now, I got my kids with me. I got these people with me, be able to be on the court with them. I mean, it's just amazing, you know. I'm just blessed to be here. And so I'll make whatever decision I'm going to make, but I'm going to go, obviously, overseas to play again. So, but again, thank you, Kenny, JR. And I'm going to say this, JR coming back next year. I'm going to stay on his ass. I'm going to be back. They can have me if I can be a Lobo again. I'm here.
That's a done deal.
Yeah, you know,
I'll be lucky if you guys have me back.
Nah, but JR coming back, Kenny coming back, and we're going to run it back, and we're going to do it better next time, and there's going to be more people, and Albuquerque, there's going to be more support. We just need that support from everybody, and we're going to run it back.
Scotty, you mentioned how you grew up watching Kenny, obviously, being here in Albuquerque, when Kenny was playing. You're in high school when JR was here. You have your boys here watching you. How awesome is it for you allowing your kids to live this dream this week that you probably didn't even think would happen?
Yeah, you know, when I was about 20 years old, 21, my goal was to have this little man first so he can watch me and as I grow up and he can actually watch me play. You know, a lot of people have kids when they're older and then they can tell them like, yeah, I used to play, son, but I want him to be with me. So he's been with me from the start. And my other two and my godsons. And, you know, my son knows everything about basketball. So he's like, you about to play with JR and you Kenny Thomas about to be your coach? Like, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, I can't wait, you know? Like, so he knows everything. So, like I said, like, he knows about them and I'm just blessed. And I'm sure he's looking at me like my dad's really on the same team as them. So that's what I live for, you know? I don't live for nothing else. I don't care about scoring. I don't care about what I do, money I make. I don't care. I live for my sons and my family, and that's it.
So obviously last year, first year, just kind of getting a feel for TBT. This year, what's your biggest takeaway from all of it?
Mine?
Yeah.
I mean, once again, it's an experience, right? Because there's 64 teams in this, and there's a lot of teams that are stacked. And this region playing in the pit, there was 8 great teams in this that played in this building, and man, the atmosphere and the vibe being back in the pit and coaching at this high level, it felt good for me, and I know it felt good for them. And once again, I didn't lose that much in this building, so it's a little hard for me being able to digest this. Only lost 3 games in 4 years in this building, so it's really hard for me to digest this. But I love the group of guys that we have. And I think if we had a little bit more time to play together and get to know each other, hopefully that'll happen next year and we can come back.
And then JR, I mean, I know you're still, you know, in the state, kind of involved in the community. Can you just talk about, you know, what you're going to be doing over the next few months?
Repeat that, the last word?
Well, I mean, I just know that you're in the state, you know, involved in like Espanol and stuff like that. So can you just talk about what you're going to be doing and how you're growing the game of basketball in New Mexico?
Well, I'm the women's head basketball coach out at Northern. So right now, you know, I'm just, now that the TBT's over, I got to get back to work, to my day job, and just get my girls moved in and prepare for the season, get in the preseason, and just, you know, any coach is going to say this, just trying to build my culture from day one. But I really like being out here in New Mexico because, you know, I went to college out here and we love basketball so much. So, you know, like Kenny and Scotty and myself, you know, we played, you know, basketball at a high level. It's, you know, I love my job of being able to teach this game to these young student athletes and try to help them along with their basketball journey, like many good coaches and players have helped me through mine. So I'm going to stay out here and continue to be as involved as possible in the basketball community for the youth in college in New Mexico. And hopefully one day, you know, who knows, maybe I'll move up in the coaching world. So we'll see.